One, two, three, go! Welcome back. It has come to my attention. Well, not really. It's just more of a kind of just me thinking randomly while I'm laying down in bed or taking a shower. Or just, just kind of random thoughts, like you're doing something and it just pops in your head and it's like, oh, yeah. Well, today's subject is holy weapons. What makes a weapon holy? This is, of course, has to do with fictional standards, of course. There's no real holy weapons, Fuck. I always say, the only time Christianity is any useful is fighting vampires. And they're not real. Well, it's interesting using that, it's that dynamic, it just makes it more mystical and neat, as it were. But, and this just all stemmed from me lately playing and getting back into Castlevania. I just love Castlevania. Just like anything that is like old school Hammer movies that use like the old school monsters. We're talking like things. We're not talking like the basic just running zombie or like these new monster boomer things, whatever. Not these new just no personality, just these things. You know what I mean? It's just like today everything has to be fast and explosions. Nothing could be a slow burn kind of amp up to the pinnacle moment of said film or video game. And Castlevania really ties together old Hammer with kind of a dash of Japanese art style in it. Well, the newer games do. The older ones were just bastardized and just redrawn by the American crew because we can't handle imported goods. Because we're just like that, It's like, it's different. It's like, I can't handle a rice ball. Gotta make that into a fucking sandwich. It's like, it's different, so I must be confused and scared and lash out of it like a puppy. I don't know. Like a kitty cat, because cats are always whatever. I don't know where I'm going with this. But, the point of this was, in Castlevania you have your weapons, per se. Your weapons like, the whip. The vampire killer itself is a whip made by alchemy. Then there's a lot. It's a lot of detail. There's a lot of things in the Castlevania history with it's a long timeline. It's really long. It's starting from the earliest timeline. Well, right now it goes even further back because the new game Lord of the Shadows. It's like 1046. Well, the game before it, that before the PlayStation, Lemnit of Innocence, takes place in 1094, which is that's a long time ago. That's the 11th century. My God, I don't even know what happened around there. That's probably around the Crusades, probably. Just fucking crazy way back then. And it goes all the way up until like 2036 with Dawn of Sorrow, which the art style in that I didn't like so much because it really went with this toony kind of thing, as the art style before in the games were really this kind of, I don't want to say sketchy, but they had kind of this oil painting kind of look to it. It looked very like a sketchbook or a oil painting, It just looked really somber and sullen, and it just really suited Castlevania, how it is very drab and just like the whole thing of Dracula and the old kind of monster mash kind of feel to it. It just suited, not this kind of like looked like a Saturday morning anime. It was so just bright and colorful and loose, and it just not overly detailed. It just looked really plain, something like a Dinosaur King. It just didn't suit it at all, I think, because Soma Cruz is Dracula. Spoilers was a big twist, but guys don't know this too fucking bad. The game's been out for like 7 years. Fuck, I hate when people go like, oh, spoilers. Just holy weapons. Fuck. Man, I do have ADD. But the whole thing I want to get into here, the whole thing kind of got me thinking is like any weapon can be holy. Anything you can fucking like this. This comes from Dogma. Kevin Smith's film. I think I've seen Dogma, the first Kevin Smith film I've seen. I think it was Dogma, and until I was a lot older, then George Carlin is the cardinal there, and that just made me laugh. I just, like, when I first watched it, I didn't know who the fuck George Carlin was. I didn't get any of the in-jokes or any of the actors. It just, like, all I realized when I was watching this film, they're saying dirty words, and they fought a shit demon. It's like, just that immature, but it goes on far more deeper now, because I'm older and I understand it. Like, George Carlin, like, fucking my hero, like, he's more of a philosopher than a comedian, and just, like, such a revolutionary thinking process, just my hero, just like how he thought and stuff. And he's the cardinal. I just thought that was hilarious. And he golfed. Watch Jammin' in New York with George Carlin, 1992. Watch that special, and he gets a whole segment about golfing. It's fucking hilarious. But that whole point comes to, he blesses his golf clubs and he kills the demon with the golf club, and it's like, so can any weapon that is blessed, or any item can be blessed? Can you bless, like, a pair of boxing gloves and, like, bare fist bunch of demons, Can you bless a fucking chair? Can you bless anything? If you're, like, an ordained priest around you, if you don't got a priest around you, well, you're fucked. Or let's say you can soak a weapon in holy water. Would that work? Just like, say, if I soaked a whip. Like, that's how I kind of like to think in the Castlevania movie, how they're building up to the scene. The whole film is that they're making the whip, they're stretching it out, they're soaking it in holy water, stretching it, putting beads in it with silver. Just kind of like, they're building the magical vampire killer whip. That's how, I'm a visual learner. And I'm schizophrenic. But my whole idea is this: what do you think? Could any item, if they were blessed, if you had a priest or any other type of holy religion, could be Christianity or Catholic, basically the same thing, just minor differences, and could they have blessed us, say, any item, and it become deadly to unholy creatures? Like, say, I'm not saying all the children are nerdy evil. What is evil? Is it just something that... There's a whole question about, are vampires really weak to certain items, like garlic? We know that because, I don't know, they say it because it's a holy herb. I know this is all fictional bullshit, but it's kind of like fun to talk about fictional things than it is to talk about real things. It's a real kind of get nowhere delusion, escapism that I really just exercise my mind, and it's just fun to talk about. This is just nothing but just fun. Just kind of like a weird thing, I'm big into old school horror and just mystical things in general, I'm not Wiccan or anything like that, just fuck. If I could, like, put down a form, what religion, I'd put down Jedi, just do that, but, but, wow, this got nowhere, but, anyway, if you got any things you've talked about, or, things, give me a shout. Come on, comment. I demand you to comment. I'll come over there with a shovel and I'll do far worse things than sodomy. Okay, that just got dark. Because it was supposed to. But, I don't know. Just, this is all stemming from, I'm just big into Castlevania right now because, old school horror plus, Japanese... a dash of Japanese art style combined together equals joygasm for me. I just think that's so awesome. I know a lot of people didn't like the Simon Belmont redesign they had for Castlevania Chronicles. Like, he had big red long hair, had like a fur thing, and it looked like really just he's from like it looks like somebody from an Alice Cooper band or something like that. But I thought that was awesome. It was very like, a lot of the music in Castlevania is very kind of symphony rock, which I just love. I think of that. It's kind of like rock and roll mixed with that. It's kind of like a Rocky Horror Picture Show, but less gay, kind of. But nothing wrong with that. I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. And my deluded and confused tongue ramblings haven't, like, bored you to tears now. I suggest you stop the video. Because I'm running out of steam right now, and may the forces of evil become confused the Waiter House. And don't worry, vampires can't enter your home unless you're invited in. If you don't know that, you're a fucking moron. But, yeah, that's all I gotta say. And, yeah. Bye.